Hello, dear friends. I'm Alder Santos, and welcome to our channel, Baseball Legends. Few names in baseball history carry as much respect and admiration as Andy Pettitte. A cornerstone of a Yankees dynasty in the 1990s and early 2000s, Pettitte wasn't the fastest or the flashiest, but when the game was on the line, he was the one everyone trusted. With a calm expression on his face and surgical control on the mound, Andy built a career defined by clutch victories, remarkable consistency, and unwavering loyalty to his team and teammates. In a sport where pressure often defines who is remembered, Pettitte made history as the man for the big moments, the calm face in the eye of the storm. But his journey to stardom was anything but easy. Born in 1972 in Texas, he began his career far from the spotlight. Drafted late and without much fanfare, he climbed the minor leagues with hard work, laser focus, and a winning mindset that quickly caught the attention of the Yankees organization. In 1995, he made his Major League Baseball debut and soon earned the trust of fans and coaches alike. The quiet Texan was ready to make history on the biggest stage in baseball, and that's exactly what he did. Watch this video until the end and tell us in the comments. What was the most memorable moment of Andy Pettitte's career in your opinion? Do you remember any unforgettable games with him on the mound? Let's talk about it. In this video, we'll dive deep into the incredible journey of Andy Pettitte. His meteoric rise, legendary playoff moments, his relationship with Jorge Posada, the championships he helped win, the controversies he faced with honesty, and the legacy he left behind after hanging up his glove. Get ready to rediscover the story of a true mound giant, someone who may not have sought fame, but earned it through the power of his actions, the greatness of his victories, and the absolute respect he inspired on and off the field. Andy Pettitte was born on June 15, 1972, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but grew up in Deer Park, Texas, a working-class community on the outskirts of Houston. From a young age, Pettitte showed a strong interest in sports, especially baseball, influenced by his father, who was also a passionate fan of the game. Pettitte's family lived modestly, and the values of hard work, faith, and discipline were fundamental pillars in his personal upbringing. In high school, he stood out as a left-handed pitcher for the Deer Park High School team, gaining attention for his tireless work ethic and his composure under pressure, even at a young age. Despite his clear talent in high school, Andy Pettitte wasn't considered a top-tier prospect in national rankings. His fastball wasn't overpowering, and he didn't stand out for sheer strength. But what drew attention was his baseball IQ, pinpoint control, and poise. These traits contributed to him falling in the 1990 draft, where he was selected in the 22nd round by the Yankees. It was a mix of a gamble and a hopeful investment, and Andy nearly chose to go to college instead of turning pro. However, after some negotiation, he signed with the Yankees and began his journey through the minor leagues, a path that would require even more resilience and patience. In the minors, Pettitte quickly showed he had something special. While he wasn't the type of player who dazzled in tryouts, his in-game performances were impeccable. He learned to command his pitches with surgical precision and studied opposing hitters meticulously, anticipating their moves. This competitive and analytical mindset was crucial to his development. He moved up through the Yankees farm system, including stops with the Albany Colony Yankees and the Columbus Clippers, consistently maintaining a low ERA and gaining the trust of coaches and scouts. His work ethic was undeniable, and he was known for spending hours watching film and fine-tuning his pitching mechanics. One of the turning points in his rise was the 1994 season with the Columbus Clippers, the Yankees' AAA affiliate. There, he had a strong season that firmly placed him on the radar of the Major League team. His pitching repertoire, featuring a subtly moving fastball, excellent control, and a devastating curveball, became his calling card. Still young, Pettitte already showed maturity beyond his years, and his presence on the mound reminded many of a seasoned veteran. What he lacked in glamour or top prospect hype, he made up for with consistency and focus. It didn't take long for the Yankees to realize they had a hidden gem ready to shine. His major league debut came on April 29, 1995. Though he started in the bullpen, he quickly secured a spot in the starting rotation. Pettitte proved he could compete with the best in the world, facing off against elite hitters with courage and precision. The mentality he had forged through tough times in the minors paid off. He wasn't intimidated, even on baseball's grandest stages. In a short time, he earned the respect of his teammates and coaches, who recognized his composure and determination as rare traits. It was the beginning of a career that would soon place him at the heart of one of the greatest dynasties in baseball history. Andy Pettitte's humble beginnings stand as a testament to the power of persistence, quiet work, and belief in oneself. His journey proves that in baseball, as in life, success doesn't always go to the most naturally gifted, but often to those who work the hardest, who learn from every opportunity, and who refuse to give up. Pettitte didn't have the easiest path, but that's exactly what makes his story so inspiring. He represents all the athletes who build their greatness brick by brick, day by day, until they reach the biggest stage. The Texan kid who started as a 22nd round pick turned into one of the most respected pitchers of the modern era. The much-anticipated debut of Andy Pettitte in Major League Baseball came on April 29, 1995, in a season filled with hope and change for the Yankees. After years of rebuilding and frustration, the franchise was determined to return to relevance, relying on a blend of experienced veterans and promising young talent. And Pettitte fit that mold perfectly. Initially used as a bullpen arm, he soon earned a spot in the starting rotation due to his solid performances and mature approach. He didn't just seize the opportunity, he stood out right away with his calm demeanor and pinpoint command. During his rookie season, Pettitte appeared in 31 games, starting 26 of them, and finished the year with a record of 12 wins and 9 losses, along with an earned run average, ERA, of 4.17. These numbers were even more impressive considering the fact that he was a rookie on a team under intense pressure to win. Pettitte's consistency quickly turned him into an essential part of the rotation, alongside names like David Cone and Jack McDowell. He showed an uncommon calmness for his age, never rattled by tough situations, which earned him the immediate trust of coaches, teammates, and fans. Pettitte's contribution was crucial in helping the Yankees return to the playoffs for the first time since 1981. Under the leadership of then-manager Buck Showalter, the team finished the season with 79 wins in a campaign shortened by the previous year's players' strike. In the American League Division Series matchup against the Seattle Mariners, Pettitte had the opportunity to start one of the games, solidifying his status as a reliable bet for the future. Although the Yankees were eliminated in that 5-game series, the 1995 season represented a turning point for the franchise, and Andy Pettitte was a central figure in that transformation. More than just the numbers, what defined Pettitte's debut was the cultural and emotional impact he had on the team. He perfectly embodied the spirit of a team on the verge of entering its golden era. His calm demeanor, strong work ethic, and ability to handle the pressure of playing in New York quickly made him an admired figure. For the Yankees, Andy Pettitte symbolized the arrival of a new generation that would restore pride to the Bronx. The 1995 season was just the beginning, but it already made it clear that the left-hander from Texas was destined to become a fundamental part of the dynasty that was about to unfold. Between 1996 and 2000, Andy Pettitte solidified himself as one of the core pillars of the Yankees rotation during one of the most dominant eras in franchise history. After a promising rookie season in 1995, he made a leap in 1996, winning 21 games and finishing second in the American League Cy Young Award voting. That season marked the Yankees' rebirth as a powerhouse, and Pettitte was a key part of it. With his refined control, poise in clutch moments, and fierce competitiveness, he helped lead the team to its first World Series title in 18 years, defeating the Atlanta Braves in 6 games. It was the start of a legendary run, and Andy was already standing out as a go-to man in October. During the years 1998, 1999, and 2000, the Yankees built a true dynasty, winning 3 consecutive World Series titles and cementing an era of dominance in modern baseball. Pettitte was essential in each of those campaigns, always taking on the responsibility of starting important games or shutting down tough opponents in key moments. His reputation as a big game pitcher, someone who rose to the occasion in playoff games, became more and more solid with every October out. With Mariano Rivera closing games and Pettitte delivering solid starts, the Yankees' formula became nearly unbeatable. More than the numbers, Andy provided quiet leadership and consistency, something invaluable on a team full of stars. In 1998, the Yankees won 114 games in the regular season, a franchise record, and completed an almost flawless postseason. Pettitte, despite not having his best statistical year, delivered in tight games and remained an emotional anchor for the team. In 1999 and 2000, he returned to dominance both in the regular season and in October, delivering high-quality outings when they were needed most. His postseason performances were marked by emotional control, tactical intelligence, and an almost instinctive ability to exploit opponents' weaknesses. He might not have had the most overpowering stuff, but he made up for it with meticulous preparation and almost surgical game-reading skills. In total, Pettitte won 4 World Series titles between 1996 and 2000, a feat that firmly inscribes him in Yankees history. During that period, he pitched alongside legends like David Cone, Roger Clemens, and Orlando El Duque Hernandez, yet he always held his place as a key piece of the rotation. What truly set him apart was his reliability. Whenever the Yankees needed a win, they knew they could count on Andy Pettitte. With 13 postseason wins just between 1996 and 2000, he helped redefine the role of a starting pitcher under maximum pressure. His performance was so impactful that, even among so many offensive stars like Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, and Tino Martinez, Pettitte stood out as a silent hero, consistent, decisive, and absolutely essential. The partnership between Andy Pettitte and Jorge Posada became one of the most iconic in Yankees history, and in baseball as a whole. From the late 1990s to the early 2010s, the two built a bond based on trust, mutual respect, and a deep understanding of the game. As pitcher and catcher, they formed a true winning battery, adjusting strategies in real time, reading hitters with precision, and sharing the weight of New York's sky-high expectations. They started over 200 games together, a franchise record, and behind each one was a rare chemistry, where communication between the mound and home plate flowed almost without words. Posada knew Pettitte like few others. He knew exactly how to calm the pitcher during tense moments and, at the same time, want to push him to be more aggressive. Pettitte, in turn, trusted Posada implicitly, often pitching to his catcher's glove without hesitation, even in the most high-pressure situations. Together, they won countless regular season games and, more importantly, a string of crucial matchups in the playoffs and World Series. Posada was the brain behind the pitch selection, and Pettitte, the precise executor of the plan. That harmony was vital to the Yankees' success during their dynasty and remained constant even after Pettitte's returns in 2007 and 2010, when both were seasoned veterans. More than just teammates, Pettitte and Posada developed a lasting friendship, marked by professional admiration and personal camaraderie. They shared not only victories and championships, but also the highs and lows of a long career at the highest level. When they retired, they left behind a mark few could match: the most successful pitcher-catcher duo in Yankees history. That legendary partnership symbolizes much of what made those Yankees teams so special: teamwork, loyalty, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. For fans, seeing Pettitte on the mound with Posada behind the plate was a reminder of what makes baseball so pure: the beauty of two athletes in perfect sync, thinking the game the same way. Andy Pettitte wasn't just a reliable pitcher during the regular season. He became a true giant in October. Known for his composure and emotional control, Pettitte remains the all-time leader in Major League Baseball postseason wins, with 19 victories. That achievement is even more impressive when you consider the level of competition and the extreme pressure of the playoffs. Performing well in October is what separates good players from legendary ones, and Pettitte proved time and again that he was built for big moments. He didn't just show up for the important games, he thrived in them, facing baseball's best lineups in packed stadiums with a weight of history and expectation on his shoulders. Whether facing American League powerhouses or competing in epic World Series matchups, Pettitte consistently delivered. His ability to locate pitches, induce weak contact, and keep hitters off balance made him a deadly weapon in do-or-die series. He won decisive games, started game ones, and always gave the Yankees a chance to win when it mattered most. His playoff performances in 1996, 1998, 2000, and later in 2009 were crucial to the 5 World Series titles he earned with New York. Pettitte didn't rely on overpowering speed or flashy pitches. He dominated with intelligence, strategy, and a calm under pressure that inspired confidence in his team and terrified opponents. Beyond the stats, what truly defines Pettitte as a great postseason pitcher is the trust his teammates and managers had in him. Joe Torre and Joe Girardi, his managers at different times, often handed him the ball in critical games, and with good reason. He understood the moment, knew how to control the pace of the game, and never let emotions get the better of him. His reputation as a big-game pitcher was built one game at a time, with solid, decisive outings. With October 19th wins, Pettitte not only etched his name into the record books, he cemented himself as one of the most important pitchers of all time when the stakes were at their highest. Andy Pettitte stood out throughout his career not just because of his consistent numbers, but because of his innate ability to stay calm and composed during the tensest moments of a game. In high-pressure situations, where many pitchers falter, Pettitte seemed to rise to the occasion. His precise command of the strike zone and his ability to adjust pitching strategy with intelligence made him deadly in tight spots. He didn't need extreme velocity to dominate. His success came from knowing how to exploit hitters' weaknesses, using his curveball and slider effectively, and keeping cool even with runners on base or tied games late. That calm under fire was contagious. Teammates felt more secure when Pettitte was on the mound, knowing he'd handle each critical situation with absolute focus and without panic. That mix of emotional control and refined technique made Andy Pettitte the perfect example of a clutch pitcher, the kind of arm you want on the mound when the season is on the line. In series-deciding games, elimination matchups, and World Series starts, Pettitte stood out for his coolness and his ability to deliver strong performances. He didn't just survive those moments, he owned them. His competitive mindset, combined with the respect he earned from both teammates and opponents, cemented his reputation as a true October warrior. Few pitchers in history have matched his blend of technical consistency, quiet leadership, and nerves of steel. Pettitte wasn't flashy, but he always showed up when it mattered most. After the 2003 season, Andy Pettitte made the tough decision to leave the Yankees, the team with which he had built his reputation and won 4 World Series titles. He signed with the Houston Astros, returning to his home state of Texas for a new chapter in his career. The move was motivated by a combination of factors, including a desire to be closer to his family and the Yankees' failure to offer a competitive contract at the time. In Houston, Pettitte quickly established himself as the anchor of the rotation, bringing not just talent, but also a winning mentality that positively influenced the Astros clubhouse. His professionalism, work ethic, and postseason experience raised the team's standard and gave more legitimacy to the franchise's ambitious plans. During his time with the Astros from 2004 to 2006, Pettitte had a major impact, especially in the 2005 season, when he helped lead the team to its first World Series appearance in franchise history, forming one of the best pitching duos in the league alongside Roger Clemens. Pettitte was a steady force throughout the playoffs, delivering reliable and solid outings. His presence in the critical National League matchups was key in helping Houston overcome tough opponents like the Cardinals. Though the team ultimately lost to the White Sox in the World Series, simply reaching that stage was a massive achievement, and Pettitte was one of the main reasons for it. His time in Houston proved he was far more than just a product of the Yankees system. He was an elite pitcher capable of leading any team to success. Andy Pettitte returned to the New York Yankees in 2007, rekindling a deep connection with the franchise where he had spent the prime of his career. His return wasn't just symbolic, it was strategic. The Yankees knew that, beyond his experience and familiarity with the Bronx environment, Pettitte still had plenty to offer on the field. He seamlessly reclaimed his spot in the rotation, and even as the years went by, he maintained his sharp control, admirable poise, and ability to compete at a high level. In the seasons that followed, his presence was essential not only for his on-field performance, but also for his leadership behind the scenes, especially in guiding younger pitchers. His clutch mentality remained intact, and this became even more evident in 2009, when Pettitte delivered one of the most impressive postseason runs ever by a veteran pitcher. In the 2009 championship run, Pettitte made history by becoming the only pitcher to win the clinching games in all 3 rounds of the postseason: the ALDS, the ALCS, and the World Series. He defeated the Minnesota Twins in the Division Series, beat the Los Angeles Angels in the League Championship, and finally won the game that clinched the World Series title for the Yankees against the Philadelphia Phillies. This rare feat not only reaffirmed his status as one of the most reliable pitchers of the modern era, but also sealed his legacy as a true franchise icon. It was Pettitte's 5th championship ring with the Yankees, and his performance throughout that postseason was a tribute to his longevity, consistency, and unshakable nerves. For many fans, that 2009 title marked the last great golden era for the team. And once again, Andy Pettitte was at the heart of an unforgettable chapter. In 2007, Andy Pettitte found himself at the center of one of Major League Baseball's most controversial moments: the performance-enhancing substances scandal, specifically involving human growth hormone, HGH. Named in the Mitchell Report, Pettitte promptly addressed the issue, admitting he had used HGH in 2002 while recovering from an elbow injury. He emphasized that his use was limited and solely for medical reasons, not to gain an unfair performance advantage. This candid approach stood in stark contrast to other players named in the report, many of whom denied or deflected responsibility. Pettitte's honesty garnered empathy and respect from the public, media, and his peers. Although his reputation faced temporary scrutiny. His transparent handling of the situation helped preserve his image as a trustworthy and honorable player. He not only issued a public apology, but also answered all questions openly, setting an example of accountability in the face of controversy. Retiring in 2013, Pettitte left behind a remarkable career: 256 wins, 5 World Series titles, and a reputation as a clutch pitcher. His legacy extends beyond statistics. He's remembered for his consistency, precise control, and composure under pressure. As a cornerstone of the Yankees during their golden era, Pettitte played a pivotal role in the team's postseason successes, particularly in the ALDS, ALCS, and World Series. Pettitte's respect was earned not just through his achievements, but also through his integrity, discipline, and unwavering commitment to victory. Even after retirement, his influence persists, serving as a model for balancing success with humility and ethics in sports. Colleagues, coaches, and fans alike highlight his character and leadership both on and off the field. For many, Pettitte's departure marked the end of a golden era for the Yankees, but his legacy endures in every young pitcher inspired by his journey. Andy Pettitte's story is more than a compilation of stats and titles. It's a testament to consistency, humility, and character. Over 2 decades on the mound, he exemplified the best of sportsmanship, total dedication, respect for the game, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Though not the flashiest player, his intelligence, composure, and quiet confidence made him a reliable presence for his team. Notably, Pettitte never sought the media spotlight. He built his He built his legacy through hard work, faith, and family values. While others chased fame, Pettitte focused on each pitch and every challenge on the mound. This understated dedication earned him universal respect, not just among Yankees fans, but also among opponents, teammates, and baseball experts. His performance spoke volumes, eliminating the need for self-promotion. Even under immense pressure, Pettitte maintained remarkable serenity. His decisive victories in the 2009 ALDS, ALCS, and World Series are enduring records of his clutch capabilities. Such performances result from preparation, experience, and an inner strength impervious to external distractions. He understood the stakes and consistently exceeded expectations. His brief tenure with the Houston Astros also showcased another facet of Pettitte, a desire to be close to family and honor his Texas roots. Even away from New York, he excelled, leading a young rotation and helping the Astros reach their first World Series in 2005. This demonstrated that his talent transcended teams and stadiums. He was a natural competitor, ready to fight for any team that trusted his left arm. Upon returning to the Yankees, Pettitte was no longer just a promising young pitcher of the 90s. He was a living legend. In 2009, with a veteran's performance in peak form, he helped secure the Yankees' last major title of the recent era. That year represented a full-circle moment. The young star of the golden years, now mentoring new talents to the pinnacle of success. It was undoubtedly a triumphant return and a fitting farewell for a giant of the game. The HGH episode could have tarnished his image, but Pettitte confronted the situation with the same honesty and composure he displayed on the field. He acknowledged his mistake, apologized, and moved forward with his head held high. This approach only strengthened his reputation as a man of principles. In an era of scandals and empty denials, Pettitte's transparency stood as a rare example of responsibility in sports. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating content, and activate the notification bell to stay updated. Also, feel free to leave your comments below. Today, As we reflect on Andy Pettitte's career, we see more than just numbers and championships. We see a player who defined a generation with his work ethic, competitive spirit, and integrity. His legacy lives on not only in trophies, but in every young pitcher seeking inspiration from his journey. Andy taught us that it's possible to win with humility, achieve greatness with simplicity, and leave an everlasting mark with every heartfelt pitch. Until our next journey, dear baseball enthusiasts,